Hey everyone, it's Andrew. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a video doing an unboxing and review of Amazon's generic iPhone charging cables. The reason why I'm doing a review on these is I've been using kind of the cheapest, most affordable iPhone charging cables for several years now. And recently, the prior package like this that I had from about 2 years ago, I finally got down to the last cable, and so I needed to replace it. And so I purchased a pack for my own personal use. And so what we'll do in this video is we'll just go over the old cables that I purchased, then we'll discuss the new cables. I'll list the actual brand, which is kind of like this generic brand, and I'll give my general impressions of these cables and whether it makes sense to purchase these versus more expensive versions. As always, if you're interested in potentially purchasing these, I'll leave links in the description below to the specific brand. Okay, so these are going to be Amazon's generic iPhone charging cables. Currently you can get this pack on Amazon for $8.99 for a pack of 6 different cables. There's going to be 2 3-foot cables, there's going to be 3 6-foot cables, and 1 10-foot cable. The brand for this is going to be N as in Nancy, K, N as in Nancy, ZLY, so NKNZLY or whatever. It's just a generic brand. But previously, about 2 years ago, I purchased iPhone cables like this from Wacour, which was a different brand. These cables I had for about 2 years, exact same design and everything, and I had no issues as far as charging capability, but these were designed with this more of like this not frayed, like a woven design around the actual cable, which I thought would provide better durability as far as preventing it from breaking and things like that. But over time these would break from routine use, mainly at where you connect this to the actual charging port on your phone. So this area would sometimes fray, which is very similar to the iPhone cables, and it would break over time, and I'd basically just throw it out. Other issues that I actually had for a couple of the cables over time was actually the dongle here that inserts directly into your phone would either bend or break, either from the phone kind of like falling off the bedside table or something like that. But what I noticed was over time, when you insert it here into the bottom port of your phone, it would just, like, I'd pull it out one day and it'd be bent or broken or something like that, and the cable would no longer work. So I had that happen a couple times. The fraying happened once on one cable, and then I think another one, it just like fizzled out over time. But it did get 2 years of use without any issues as far as functionality. So that's that. But this time I ended up going with this brand instead, just because it was the cheapest and most affordable option on Amazon. And so we'll just open this packaging up. It's going to have the 6 separate cables. These are going to be more of like pastel kind of design as far as color. But they should be virtually identical to this other cable setup. The only difference is for these cables, it's more like the generic iPhone cable, where it's more of this silicone feel for the actual cable. So we'll take this one apart just as an example. So this is the white cable here. So this is probably it. Yeah, this is this is one of their 6-foot cables. It's 6 feet in length. It's got the silicone all across the edge. The port here is one single port, which is a nice design. I did actually, sorry to forget to mention it, I did have this where a couple times this part actually slid down, this plastic part on the sleeve here for the old one. But what I noticed, it didn't really change the functionality. It just slid down and that part was exposed. But that's one thing to keep in mind. So this not being one single area is nicer from that standpoint. The other port here is fine from a functionality standpoint, and then it's a USB-A port on the other side. A little bit nicer build than this last one that I had, but that's it as far as the overall design. I would presume that with long-term use, you'll get similar to the iPhone cable, where you'll get fraying over here where it bends. Hopefully by using this The design of being like one kind of area here, though, the port is less likely to bend maybe over time, so it's less likely to break, because with the iPhone cable, that's typically where you get it breaking and fraying and ultimately needing to replace it with long-term use. The one caveat with these cables is very similar to other ones. You do have to get a wall adapter for this, for connectivity to the wall, so you have to purchase that separately, but that's pretty standard for any cable like this these days. But this is the colors, so they've got a pink one, this like darker purple lavender, a lighter purple lavender, they got this white cable, and then they've got this kind of light pastel green color. I didn't really care about the color, so I just picked this just because it was $8.99, which comes out to $1.50 per cable. With my use of this last cable set, I used it for about 2 years, so I definitely get my money's worth. I've had no issues as far as like charging my phone or whatever with using these. It's just more cheaper and affordable. So that's all I have for this video. Real quick, what I'm going to do is just plug this into the wall and charge it into my phone. So give me 1 second to do that, and we'll just confirm that this actually works for the phone before we sign off on this video. Okay, so I'm going to I use the 10-foot cable just because the adapter to the wall outlet's a little far away, but we'll plug this in and just test it out. And so immediately it recognizes it as charging effectively, so there's no issues there. So that's all I have for this video. Hopefully that was helpful for those of you that are in the market for these cheap, affordable ones. Based on my experience, it's affordable. You do run into issues as far as quality and build, obviously, for being this cheap, but it's definitely cheaper and more affordable than the iPhone charging cables. So definitely check them out. If you have questions, comments, post them below. But thanks for watching and have a great day.